Obi-Wan didn't just run once, he ran twice. And I know there's been some sort of a division, and I don't know, it's kind of crazy in my opinion. It's perfectly in line with what we would think Obi-Wan would be after 10 years of nothing, basically doing nothing, just working for, as I said, menial jobs, low pay, just surviving, being alive. What's up, guys? Welcome to Star Wars Comics. My name is Bessie, and let's talk about Obi-Wan's biggest and most controversial moment, him running away from Darth Vader. Was I shocked to see that? Kinda. It was expected. And if you have seen episode 1 and 2, then how could you have not seen this coming? Let's talk about the real reasons why Obi-Wan ran from Darth Vader twice. Well, to talk about this, I'm simply gonna say there are 2 reasons why Obi-Wan was completely scared and acted that way. Let's start with reason number 1. Reason number 1, guys, is that he has been detached about everything that has to do with a Jedi and the Jedi Order for 10 years. There's a reason why this series starts with Order 66. That is one of the last periods that Obi-Wan was actually a Jedi. He used the Force, he used his lightsaber, he defeated his apprentice, thought he was dead. Spoilers, he is not. And after he accepted defeat by the Empire, Palpatine ultimately won. Anakin is dead, or so he thought. Yoda sent him to look over the boy on Tatooine. The last semblance of his Jedi training was Yoda telling him that he has been able to commune with Qui-Gon Jinn and that he has training for him. You can see why Obi-Wan has not been able to talk to Qui-Gon for these last 10 years. I believe so. I believe he hasn't talked to Qui-Gon once since we saw him in Revenge of the Sith, since Yoda revealed that. For crying out loud, he can't even use the Force properly, let alone use it to such an extent that he would be able to communicate with his master. Here's the thing, guys. Both episode 1 and 2 show a defeated, outright pessimistic, and downtrodden former Jedi. Firstly, Obi-Wan presumably has not used the Force in 10 years. One of the first things he did is he accepted defeat, grabbed both his lightsaber and Anakin's lightsaber, and buried it in the desert. That signifies that he buried his past. He doesn't want to do anything with the Jedi anymore. Especially as the years went on, he erased that part of his history. I assume that by this worldview that Obi-Wan has created over these 10 years, his thinking was maybe I'll teach Luke a thing or two and hopefully my master will get the job done, because the shape that he's in the series, he cannot train anyone. In the first episodes, he constantly is being chastised. Nari tells him, "You were once a great Jedi Master, what happened to you?" Uncle Owen basically tells him that he was a lousy Jedi. Look how the last Padawan turned out in Anakin. And another thing that you might have missed in episode 2, he didn't just run from Darth Vader in episode 3, he ran from Reva as well in episode 2. So he was running all the way. Then another crucial moment in episode 2, while Leia falls from the tall building, Obi-Wan is mustering the inner depths of his Force abilities that he once had just in order to stop Leia from falling. Guys, this is just using telekinesis, and it took everything he had by simply not letting Leia fall to her death. In his heyday, Obi-Wan Kenobi would save Leia with his finger. That's how prominent he was with the Force and with his dueling skills. That's why he hides from Reva and from the Grand Inquisitor. He runs away the moment he has a chance and escapes Reva's grasp. Now with Anakin/Darth Vader, he knows that there is absolutely no chance he could stand toe-to-toe with his former apprentice. He could barely save a child. How would he go up against a Sith Lord that has out a vendetta for him? And this is my second reason. The first reason, of course, being Obi-Wan knew the state he was in. He hadn't used the Force in 10 years. He hadn't even touched his lightsaber in 10 years since he buried it in the desert. Of course, he knew that he couldn't fight Vader. That's why he ran away. The second reason he ran away, and probably the second reason kind of combines with the second attempt that he ran away. If you remember, the second time he ran away, he actually first talked to Darth Vader. He told Vader, "What have you become?" in shock. Anakin, in turn, tells him, "What you made me." This is why he runs for the second time. And this is the second reason why Obi-Wan was scared and ran away. It's because he ultimately not only realized I am not capable of fighting Darth Vader, he realized another thing, that Vader won't just outright kill him. Vader, or his former apprentice Anakin, wants to make Obi-Wan suffer. He wants to torture him. If it would be a painless death, Obi-Wan would not just be a simple coward that runs away. Even though I don't see it as a cowardly attempt, he needs to live in order to look after Luke and ultimately revive the Jedi Orders. That's how Yoda's and Obi-Wan's mentality was during that time, but he runs away and is scared because he knows Vader won't just kill him. Vader will torture him, as he did with the fire. He basically tried to burn him alive, and even after Vader put out the fire, he told the stormtroopers to grab him and bring him to me. Vader would supposedly then take him to his castle on Mustafar and torture him to death. Now, if you know anything about Vader and the Sith, they were proficient in torture. If you remember in Empire Strikes Back, Han Solo found that out the hard way. Vader tortured Han Solo as the fans heard him screaming on Bespin. Even Lando Calrissian was distraught during that time. Of course, we know also that Vader tortured Leia on the Death Star too, although that scene was cut. So now you can kind of sympathize with our dear old friend, the trolling master Obi-Wan Kenobi. 10 years not touching your lightsaber, 10 years not using the Force, being detached completely from that former life as a Jedi, and now all of a sudden you're thrown in front of Darth Vader? Anakin Skywalker that he fought on Mustafar, that he knows how capable he is. He knows everything about Anakin, and he knows how tenacious and ferocious Anakin could be. Of course, he ran away. I understand that completely, and I don't have a problem with it, especially knowing that now with episode 4, 5, and 6, Obi-Wan will restart. He will realize, especially with little kid Leia kidnapped, he will realize that he needs to go textbook. He needs to reteach himself the Force, he needs to re-engage with it, he needs to restudy his fighting techniques, and ultimately go save Leia on Mustafar, which of course the main obstacle being Darth Vader once again. And the second duel in episode 6, I presume, will be the most legendary one. I can promise you that. So guys, what did you think about Obi-Wan running that way? And have I hit it on the head, kinda? Do you agree with me? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.